the way we consume games and our relations to them has evolved a lot over the years. But something that hasn't changed at all is the way we do NPCs. Hi, my name is Amandine Flax and I am the CEO and co-founder of WildMeta. We are helping video games developers create the next generation of games with smarter and more human-like AIs with machine learning. I started WildMeta in late 2019. My co-founder Alex then joined me in early 2020. And to tell you a bit more about our background, I have spent the past 10 years supporting startup founders in emerging technologies in France, in the USA, and in the UK. I previously worked closely with video game studios when I was involved in the virtual reality and augmented reality community. And my co-founder, Alex, is my CTO, and we have known each other for more than 6 years now. He has a very unique background. He used to work as a machine learning research scientist at Graphcore and Imagination Technologies, but he also has a deep understanding of video games as he used to work for Feral Interactive, porting AAA games. I've been playing video games since I was a kid. I love playing, but I also love watching my favorite streamers play video games. And I feel that the way we consume games and our relations to them has evolved a lot over the years. But something that hasn't changed at all is the way we do NPCs. Isn't it crazy that when you ask players about games AI, the only good AI they can remember are from 10 years ago, and they can give you a never-ending list of recent incidents they face, with characters being stuck, blocking the way, or simply being useless. And the problem is it's not getting any better and definitely breaks players' experience. Researchers have been using video games to demonstrate their work, and I believe they opened the door for us. At least they for sure inspired me to start WildMeta. Alex and I, we've been following closely the progress from DeepMind on StarCraft 2 or OpenAI with Dota 2. We even went to San Francisco for OpenAI 5 finals in April 2019 to see professional players compete against OpenAI 5. But unlike them, we do not aim to create AIs that can beat every single human at the game. What we see instead is how this technology can effectively help game developers build a better game and the potential improvement for the player's experience. Now, to talk a bit more about WildMeta and our technology, my co-founder and I, we really want to bring machine learning to modern video games. And we have spent the past year developing our core technology. We've done the R&D, so studios don't need to do it. And while designing our system, one of the key elements has always been reusability. Starting from scratch from every single game doesn't make any sense. So we've made sure that we can reuse our core technology and focus our efforts on the part that needs to be customized. And it doesn't matter much to us if a studio uses one engine or another, because we can build and integrate smarter AIs to a game regardless of the engine and the complexity of a studio's system. I do believe that machine learning is the future of some aspect of game development. But machine learning is quite different from the traditional software or game development. And I don't expect studios to hire in-house developers or an in-house machine learning experts straight away, or to have the existing team ready to work with neural networks tomorrow. And that's exactly why we are offering our technology and our expertise as a service. So we can explore together the best way to make the most of this technology. In the video we are about to watch, we really wanted to demonstrate what our bots can learn on a small scale using just reinforcement learning with bots trained on a matter of hours. And what is interesting to understand is that increasing the training to days instead means that they could improve the technique and get even better at playing the game. So as I said, we've used Dota 2, and Dota has a really large pool of characters, main characters that you can play. So we picked 2 of them to train our bots, and we can see in this video short clips of their actions and what they can learn. So the characters that is played by our bots is the characters with the circle. So that's what the camera is supposed to follow. And so we can see what the bots have been learning really on this small-scale experimentation and demonstration. And so we can see things like techniques like last hits, when you kill your enemy with the last hit, but also denies, which is going to prevent your opponent to do a last hit. And last but not least, we can also see very interesting positioning with the use of creeps or towers. So for example here, the main characters are moving away from the combat, but to get either a better position to attack, or like here, use the tower to attack its enemy. It's interesting here, we really selected short clips, but in reality, when you watch the entire game, it's not just our bots doing one action or another. It's really a sequence of actions that really makes it difficult to tell if it's a bot or not that plays. And that's why I really want to stress it here, that it's our bots playing the game, playing Dota 2 right now. Okay, so the baseline here is that we can use machine learning to create AIs that can play video games as a player, a bot, or an NPC, which means that there can be a very broad list of use cases depending on the type of the game. First thing first is we can create more human-like AIs, which means more natural interactions, which means an increased in-game engagement for the players. And in the video, we use reinforcement learning, but we've also developed other methods of training to make our agents more human-like. It can also be used for learn navigation. Since the AI is playing the game, there is no need for explicit pathfinding, nav mesh, checkpoints, or obstacle avoidance code. The characters play the game like any other players would. I mentioned earlier that we wanted to help developers, but also players. And one of the first use cases we focused on when we started WildMeta was to create training bots. Players can get better at a game by playing with bots, recreating, for example, some scenario or behaviors. Smart bots can become the perfect opponent to get better at a competitive or cooperative esports game. Then AIs are also always available to play the game, which can be key, for example, in multiplayer games where you always need to have opponents to be connected at the same time as you are. Another use case is also to use AIs as teammates to join your squad. We can build AIs with cooperative behaviors, AIs that behave rationally while following orders from the players. And also, once we have AIs that know how to play a game, we can then imagine additional uses for them, such as for QA or testing, to help find bugs, for example, by exploring the environment or stress test multiplayer server. And that's just a handful of examples that cover the most usual types of games. But as we speak to more studios, we uncover even more possibilities and have open discussions on the potential of this technology. Thank you very much for the London Games Festival for having us today. We are WildMeta, and we help video game studios build smarter and more human-like AIs using machine learning. The best way to hear from us is to follow us on social media, especially on LinkedIn or on Twitter, or simply reach out to me anytime. Thank you